Ooh, ow. Hello, everyone. Welcome to stream. So, fun fact. Thank you, Tech Dave, for actually mentioning it in chat that Unity 6.2 Beta 3 came out. I downgraded just before we start stream. I want to mention that I downgraded the project to Unity 6.5 because of the burst compiler crashes and stuff like that. And apparently, I also ran into this issue as well. So there's actually a new version of the 6.6 beta. I'll test it out after stream, but for now, we're going to use the stable version. Also, they did fix the crash that I kept having with different jobs and stuff. So yay, we should be good to go, but that'll be for the next stream. But welcome to the stream. So we got some fun times ahead. So before we start, let's actually say, let me actually show off what I managed to get done after the last stream. So I actually have the bullets properly working now. And I don't get any like issues with like the Unity editor since I'm going back to 6.5. But I actually have a little ability. It's just a little like white circle that's actually a damage hitbox that activates. If you ever play Vampire Survivors, it's like the garlic thing. And I also have bullets that actually work now. They were working 80%, but sometimes they actually lost, like the physics lost itself inside unmanaged memory. And I figured out what was that caused. That was actually a me thing, not a Unity bug thing. But I managed to get that figured out, and yeah, so we actually got a start to something. Yay. But where do we go next? So I want to get the foundation done. We're gonna be working on physics. Like today might be like the last part, like last major part of physics, and then we can actually go into like making new features, actually making like actual like gameplay. I was gonna show this. So whenever I click play here, whenever I click play here, you'll notice that I have physics stuff that actually go out, and you notice they start to disappear. So I've actually started creating a custom physics culling system. So instead of like culling stuff that's not like rendered, I can actually like make it where like the physics shapes and physics bodies are actually automatically deleted whenever they get too far away from the character. But I need to finish up the culling system. And the reason why, I mean, if you're going to have a lot of enemies on screen and you're also going to have a lot of like just basically like physical objects and stuff, I want to make sure like they're actually being called. That way like players aren't having like memory used by bullets that are like way off the screen. So yeah, but it's nice. We already got some of it started, but let's jump right in. Also, I hope you guys are enjoying these kind of random streams where I'm like digging deep into like Unity and like a lot of like customization. To start off, how we're going to be doing this, for anybody that has never done it before, you can actually add your own player loop. And for people that don't know, like, what is the player loop I'm talking about? The player loop is actually stuff like, actually, let's go to the Physics Projectile Manager. The player loop is things like, or not Projectile Manager, or yeah, Projectile Manager. So if you've ever used Unity, you know, there's like private void, update, private void, like there's FixedUpdate, there's like LateUpdate as well, stuff like that. That is events inside of Unity's player loop system. For anybody that doesn't know, you can add and create your own player loop. You can literally customize Unity's player loop. That's what we're going to be doing today. I'm actually going to be adding a new FixedUpdate, a little bit more. Well, technically I already got like it actually running. So fun fact, I can actually go show you the code. So I have here my SF Physics Manager. This is going to be my new like manager that takes care of a lot of stuff for physics. If we actually go down, you'll see I have an SF Physics Update. This is my new custom physics loop. So this actually runs at near the end of FixedUpdate. Basically, Unity actually has like all the player loops, like FixedUpdate, update, and stuff like that. It's actually just a struct, like literally just a struct. So if I actually like go down here actually wait, it should be inside of this one. Yeah. So you can see here, fun fact about the FixedUpdate, it is literally a struct. This FixedUpdate is literally just a struct that Unity like actually runs. So you'll notice that there's like clear lines, director, fix sample, audio fix sample. And if I go down, you'll start seeing other things like physics fix update, physics core 2D fix update, and stuff like that. So Unity actually has like all their like update and physics update, or like fix update, start, avoid, all that kind of stuff as a struct. And inside that one struct, they can have nested structs. And that's actually where you can see what order that Unity actually calls certain things. So you can see this is like the 3D physics call, the physics core module 2D, which is the low level physics that was introduced in 6.3, renamed to physics core 2D in 6.5. And then you can see Unity's fixed or physics 2D. And this fix update is actually like box colliders, rigid body, stuff like that. So basically, what I'm going to, since I had to like implement my own custom physics calling, you'll notice here I got the physics core 2D update, and I'm actually inserting my own custom update method after it. So fsf physics update. So basically, when Unity is calling methods that run fix update, they will literally do fix core 2D fix update. Then since I injected my own physics update, they will call this before calling the like physics 2D fix update for like box slider and rich body, stuff like that. Now, why am I mentioning all this? Well, I want to implement a custom physics calling system that's a little bit more than what I have now. I have it where it will actually let me call like stuff that is like too far away from the screen, stuff like that. But I need a little bit more than that. I want to actually make it where I can choose to like call objects manually, custom, stuff like that. And for reference, all the calling is just actually like a list over a check right now. And we need to do way more than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start like working on that. I want to make it where players can actually set the calling distance. So basically they can actually say like, okay, if this object, your physics object is this far away from player, call it. And I want to say, also let player, like, because all this code is going to be used for like a toolkit where people can actually make their own games. Like they can make their own like top-down games, stuff like that. So I want to make sure players can use it. I want to make sure I can also use it for my projects. So we want to have it where there is like a couple different values where we have vector 2, default center, and I'm actually going to say vector 2 0 0. And pretty sure that won't let me because yeah, what I could do is I could actually make this static read only as instead. So I can have like a default center here, and I can actually say, well, I'm actually, since technically this is actually not a, yeah, must be a compile time constant. All right, I was actually thinking about that, but yeah, so we'll just have like instead of the default center, since we actually cannot create a read only and pass it in here. I think there is actually a way to do that with like attributes. You can actually make like a tribute and actually like pass in like data to your parameters. Well, I know there is a way, but I don't want to go that far. So what I'll do is I'll just say center, we'll say simulation center. And basically I can actually say in here where if center, or yeah, I'll just say like, so I don't even need to like say like center here. I can actually say, we're gonna just do this for a while. We're gonna just set this. I might have it where like there's actually 2 overloads to this where you can set your own center and then like also do a thing. So like for example, I could say like public static void, and I'll also do like clean up distance bodies, and I'll say I'll actually set this one up. The reason why I'm going to do it this way is you can actually just call the method like this, and what it'll do is if you just call a method like this, it'll actually just use the default like or like the not default but like the value you set as simulation center, and then it'll also do far distance. And so yeah, if you call this method, it'll use the simulation center. If you use this overload method, it'll actually allow you to choose your own. So now we have like a way to actually define like where our like physics is being called to. And just to show this off, I'm going to actually lower this real quick. So at the current moment, I'm having to like set it in code. That's one of the things we're going to do. But let's actually go into the project, and I'll just show you that this actually does work already. I'm actually going to go here, and we're going to say, if you see here, so takes a second. So yeah, so so each one of these white squares is actually a 10 by 10. So as you can see, like I'm at this little point right here. As the bullets get around 20 away, like the value that I set actually like for the far distance right here, you'll notice that the bullets disappear. So as you see, like I already can set the culling for my custom physics, but now we need to do a little bit more than that. I'm not gonna like spend time multi-threading it on stream. I think I'm gonna start like doing a little bit of some of that stuff off stream. But what I want to also do, I want to make it where people can do their own like operation for culling logic. And I'm gonna spend like 20 minutes on this or so, like idea of it. Basically, my idea was have like what's called like a SS phys culling, and actually allow people to create their own like culling dictionary. And inside that, there's going to be a integer and a physics culling operation. And the idea is like the physics culling operation, people can actually implement. So like if anybody uses my toolkit, they can actually implement their own like physical operation, and they can actually use that inside of like their thing. So for example, we have like a actual like you can also pass in culling data. And if anybody's wondering like why do it this way, if anybody's ever used shaders like Unity's render graph and stuff like that, that's actually how the render graph is kind of set up. You have like I mean actually like I can actually show this as well. Pass actually let's do render graph just to show this off. Oh, okay, this is actually inside a isolated assembly, so there actually is no reference to render graph. I would have to go into I actually have to go into like a physics projectile. We can do that in here just to show this off. So yeah, I'm gonna just like go here for a second and just show this off. There should be a thing called a pass, and see if we can actually render graph path. So if we actually go inside this thing, there's a lot of information here, but there is a actual like past data, should be past data. As far as I know, Unity has it, we're past data. So Unity's render graph, the reason why it's can do a lot of memory management improvements and stuff, whenever you create like the render graph, you actually can pass data, and basically that past data is used inside of your shaders and stuff. We're gonna do something like that, where our physics culling, or our physics system has a graph, just like Unity's render graph, and you can pass in culling passes or culling operations. So we're going to do something like that. I'm going to only spend a few minutes on this because I do want to get to gameplay stuff, but the idea is like, okay, so we have our far distance culling stuff. I'm going to actually go over here and bring it, what we have in here. I'm going to actually check this out. I'm going to grab, let's actually take the, we'll actually take this. I'm not going to delete it from the SF Physics Manager yet. We're going to actually drag this in here. And what we're going to do is, first let's bring in the references. Bring in the references. There we go. And then we're going to have a couple of these as well. I'm going to actually make this as read-only here. And also have this as a read-only float. And basically, I'll actually have it where whenever you actually create a far distance, you can actually pass in constructor, and you can actually pass in your options. And this will actually let you pass in like, so this way people can actually customize it. And they can also just, like, for example, use the default. So, we can do the same thing we actually did here, where I could say grab that. And just drag it back in here, and then we're also going to say, actually, let's go ahead and make that, actually, yeah, let's actually set this up. Because these actually will not be static just for this one part. So I'm actually gonna not be able to set that. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll just do this. Far distance default. That actually is pretty much the same thing. We can basically say if far distance equals 0. Actually, we'll do far. Yeah, we can do this. We'll say far distance equals 0. Literally, I'm fumbling this like crazy. Start. There we go. Sooner or later, I'll get it. Okay, and then I'll do this. I'll say basically if far distance equals 0, far distance will do that, and then we'll just say far distance over here. So basically, like if the pass-in value is 0, we'll go ahead and just like do that, and it'll actually use this instead. So I can just pass it. That way you can actually set it in. What we'll also need is a native level of memory to actually access. Instead of saying public static, we're actually going to set this up. And then we're going to do this. We're going to have active bodies. And we're going to say active bodies. Yeah. Oh, I need to also make this as IDisposable. Yeah. This way I can actually say clean up inside of like memory and stuff. IDisposable. There we go. This way we don't create memory leaks. So what we can do here is now we'll have like we'll actually let this be passed in. I could say simulation or vector2 simulation center. Actually, instead of this being a read only. Oh, you know what? Yeah, because I'm gonna have to like update the simulation center. You know what? That works. That works. This one can be read only though. Actually, for now, just for test purposes, I'm actually gonna make it not read only for reasons. I'm gonna say float far distance. I'm just gonna do this. We'll worry about the like what we can set as read only, what we can do burst compiler for after we get it working. I want to make sure we can actually get stuff working first, because I've been trying to do like a burst compile code right from the start, and sometimes that comes with drawback, like okay, it takes a little bit longer to actually get stuff set up. And yeah, we will do this. And what we'll do is I'll just say if far distance equals actually, yeah, okay, yeah, we can do this. So we can just call like a clean up far distance if we want to use the default value set. But if we want to like for some reason add in our own like a set, we can also just do this. Yeah, this works then. So yeah, this actually works. I'm also gonna put in here because we're never gonna be changing these values. All right, cool. And instead of actually, we don't need to put this here because, and the reason why, well, I can actually say, I can actually create a ref for this. I could say ref, yeah, we can actually do this. I say ref active bodies equals, and I can just say Oh, you know, I don't even have to do that. Yeah, I don't even have to do any of that. I can just say this. So I do want to keep the active bodies inside the physics manager for a couple reasons. I want like one source of truth for this. So I can actually just do this. I can say, and yeah, we can just say that. And I want to see if we can actually just say active, bodies equals. I'll just say ref. Not sure if this will actually work, but we're gonna find out. Maybe it'll work. Yeah, okay, we'll have to test this out. I actually don't know if this will work the way I'm intending it to be. So I'm gonna just do this. Yeah, okay, we should be able to just set this up now. That way we don't have to like do the like SF Physics Manager, blah blah blah, all that kind of crap every single time. I can also just do that here, same thing. If I actually put it up here, I can say, yeah, there we go, a little bit cleaner. And now I actually do not need to like actually dispose of that manually. I was thinking I would, but no, I don't. So now we got this. Okay, so what I'm gonna try now, I want to actually go in here and I want to say, instead of calling these, I want to see if inside of our actual like physics update loop, I want to see if we can actually do this. I'm gonna say, let's actually say true. I'm gonna say that we need to add the default physics calling. Just to simplify this just for now, like I'm gonna want to change this calling operations, and I'm gonna say equals new. I'm actually not gonna put a type there because we're gonna need that as a serializable reference and everything for later, but I'm gonna do this. So we're gonna have our actual like we got our physics, we got our far distance calling, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually going to say call physics body, since we actually have like a do that, because this is actually the method that will actually override everything. Oh yeah, I forgot. Don't even need set those by default. All right, yeah. So let's actually do this. I should have an actual check though. It's less than or equal to 0. I'm gonna set not. That would have been awkward. I'm gonna just say far distance default equals let's say 75, or let's say 50 for now. Yeah, so now we should be able to actually like say far distance calling operation equals new. I'm going to say static SF physics polling. And now if I say polling operations, I want to see if I can actually, yeah, okay, no, I figured I wouldn't be able to actually like because I wasn't sure, like you can't actually just say this because at the current moment, like this wouldn't be ready inside of static calling. You know what, that's actually okay. I just realized that is perfectly fine. And the reason why it's perfectly fine is because of lifetime API or lifetime management API Unity introduced. Oh yeah, we'll just do this. So I'll just say calling operations, and then what I'll do is inside of this, yeah, I can actually do this. This will actually work. I could say static SF physics manager. I could say physics calling dot add, or calling operations dot add. And I could say new far distance operation, and for now I'm actually going to just say vector 2.0, and I'm going to say 50. Oh yay, that is going to work. Okay, cool. This will work. Yeah, okay, so now the SF manager will have that, and I can go, I might be able to actually remove both of these methods and several variables in a second. So let's actually see if this works. We're going to say, just for now, I'm just doing a simple for loop instead of like native lists and like IJob systems. But I should do a IJob parallel for in the end. What I'm going to say is, let's say pulling operation account, or let's say length. Actually, we can, instead of that, we'll actually make a method in here. We'll just say public void culling, or start culling. For now, I'm literally for now it's just going to be a for loop. I'm not getting like just a very simple for loop, and I'll say culling operation. Actually, this might actually need to be a for each loop. For reasons, I'm going to just say culling operation. I'll just say culling operation dot pull physics bodies. Yeah, we'll just do that for now. Because I'm going to need to do a lot of like logical checks and stuff in here, but this works for now. It seems a little empty at the moment for all the setup, but what I'll do is I can just say physics culling, and I say start culling. And yeah, okay, so also remove that. I just grabbed that just to show off the thing. And now we should have a, I need to actually, I'll remove the entire fixed update in a second. I want to just make sure this works. Oh, I need to set a actual, yeah, I need to actually set a center for this, because what I could do, public static transform handle center handle. What I could do is I could say okay. For now, I could just say, okay, it shouldn't be how I do this, but I just want to test this out and make sure this works. Set simulation center. Yeah. Actually, I don't even need to do that. I might be able to just say, we'll do this. I'll say get set, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have a private static transform handle here. I'm going to say center handle. The reason why I'm doing it this way is whenever the center handle, or like whenever we set this center handle, I'm going to make it where like, well, here I'll just show all right, we should also do a if value not valid. Return, not do anything. And we'll say if value yeah, we'll also have to technically do a check here. We'll have to say if center handle dot is not valid. Basically, like if it hasn't been set yet, so there's like invalid handle, we're gonna say yeah, we can actually just say center handle equals valid or value here. And the reason why I'm doing like get setter, now I could say simulation center, like the default simulation center equals center handle dot position. That way this will automatically set. And there we go. And basically, if it is valid, yeah, if it is valid, we don't even need to worry about really checking. I could just say, so if the center handle is valid, we'll just basically say simulation center equals Yeah, we'll just do this. Actually, I guess no matter what, we're gonna need to, yeah, no matter what, we'll need to do this instead. Actually, I guess that means I don't really need to do that. Never mind. I was thinking about a situation where that might be something we need to do, but that's actually not a situation I need to worry about now since I think about it. All right. So we can actually set the transform here. And what I'll do is, just in case, just for now, I will have like the, man, actually, I should have it where, actually, instead of like setting like the simulation center here, I might just want to just constantly have like no matter what, just always have them use the same yeah, well, I'll just always have them use like the same thing, where instead of like simulation center here. Okay, for now, and yeah, kind of like torn between making this very customizable. You know what, for now I'm gonna actually like limit the customizable like part of it. I'll add customization later, but I just want to actually make sure it actually, you know, works. So I'm actually gonna say I'm gonna just say SF Physics Manager dot simulation center. There's a reason for this. So I should say SF Physics Manager dot simulation center. We're gonna need to actually like, you know, yeah, we're actually gonna need to make it where every time we actually yeah, every single frame we actually need to set the simulation center equals if or center handle, as we can actually just do that here, dot is valid. We'll actually just set that to there every single like a test. That way, like, it's always up and running. Okay, so we'll do this. I should be able to just say, instead of like doing that, I can just say, for now, I'm gonna actually just say run true. I'm gonna just do this for now, just for a second. Yes, far distance. Okay, making sure. Okay. Might be able, yeah, I'll actually be able to clean this up a lot more in a little bit, but for now, I just want to make sure. Let's actually see if this works. It'd be really good if I can just actually, oh, wait. Oh yeah, I forgot to remove, since I'm no longer doing the, passing in like simulation scenario, I just gotta remove that. Okay, I have no idea how well this is gonna work. Again, this channel is completely about testing stuff out. And also notice that SF Physics Update actually is running. All right, so let's see. Okay, so I had it at 50, so it should be. Let's see here. I should also, you know, not since I think about that, I should actually do this. I'm gonna debug.log. Just make sure there's a couple of things I want to check here. Clean up our far distance culling. I want to just check something real quick. As far as I remember the other instances of the old like manual calling to the culling. If this works, I can actually start doing a lot of stuff like with physics. Could not enter. Okay. Fun fact, that's actually in today's patch notes. I just haven't updated to the newest version. Yay. I want to see something though. I want to get on like a line and actually see like, oh. Oh, I was like, man, what is that? Like, I never set the actual like transform handle. Also, I should also do it this way. I should say application dot running playing do. Huh. I was about to say like wrong one. Yeah, that way it's not like appearing inside of edit mode. What I'll do is I'll actually say go to our physics projectile manager, and what I'll say down here is I'm actually going to say SF physics manager dot sensor handle equals transform handle. And now that all this complicated good stuff should be good, and now we should be able to like I'll be able to improve the performance a lot more down the line. Like should be like it should disappear around here, or oh wait, 1 2 okay, yeah, that's actually right. Yay, it's actually working. Also, okay, cool. Now we have an actual like system for like culling. I mean, it may look like it's doing the same thing as like what I had at the start of stream, but now I can actually like customize it, and I can actually add other types of culling. So I could say off screen, like I could do checks to see if something is on screen, off screen as well, on top of the distance culling. So I can actually combine multiple of them now. Cool, that's good to know. I'm actually going to go here, and I'm going to actually change this where this is actually, instead of I'm going to actually set this as yeah, for now, I'm literally just gonna have a little empty thing right here. I'm not gonna set this as abstract yet because there's a couple things I need to, but I actually do not need the boolean or the bool value anymore. I actually am gonna keep the far distance data here down the line, but that's actually for you know what, I'm not even gonna like go into detail what that's for yet because I don't know if that's gonna work. Okay, and oh, I missed debug.log. Here we go. All right, so we have our own custom physics system now, that like our own custom player loop inside Unity. So we actually have injected and created our own custom fixed update. So I'm really glad Unity made it where you could actually like add your own custom fixed updates and stuff. Ha. Oh yeah. I need to, there's a couple things I'm gonna be, well, I need to also make a actual like new branch, because like I was just testing out like a few ideas. I actually do need to create a new branch. So I actually have it where like I actually have like a set name of like set naming convention for stuff like feature development, like is it general like alpha development, stuff like that. But since somebody actually mentioned it, I am actually going to do that because I want to never have to do that again. That was horrible. I mean, it's not horrible, it's just it's time consuming, and honestly I was not, like I said, I was not sure if it would work. There we go. All right. Also, before I forget, I'm going to publish that branch. But all right. So also, if you see some of these like memory leak things is actually a Unity thing. As far as I know, the last ones is actually going to be fixed next week. I gotta admit, I was not ready for all the like burst compiled and like memory leak bugs for this patch. Granted, I knew like I was expecting the memory bugs and stuff like a couple weeks ago during the last part of the beta, but now I was like thinking, okay, we're out of beta, we should have like less of them. Cool. What do we do next? Well, I could start actually adding gameplay mechanics. I know, guys, instead of doing physics, we can actually do gameplay mechanics. So what do we want? Well, I was thinking about like how I want this prototype to be. So I was thinking about actually like creating a actual actual level. I'm not going to do procedural generation for levels, but here was my thought. Like here, actually, let's actually grab some art in the tile palette and stuff like that. Show us stuff. Let's actually do some actual like creating new features level gameplay and stuff, because we shouldn't have to worry about physics for a little bit. I'd say that. Well, I mean, not like the base foundation system. I was thinking in other games like Vampire Survivor, or like 20 minutes till dawn, or is it 20 minutes till dawn? One of those games or names. You know, it's basically just you, right? You're the only one like fighting. I was thinking about making it where you can actually like have like a trap or something. Do you know, like the traps with like a maybe acid pit or like spikes and stuff? And do you know, like the traps are not gonna just hit the enemies, it'll hit everyone. So like I was thinking like maybe you could like for people that do like to do strategies or like kiting or so forth, for like maybe if you're doing a squishy build for a run, you might want to like rely on like extra trap damage to help you out, or like if you're a mage, you can use traps to like slow enemies down and so forth. So I was thinking like, okay, we could have a trap, right? We can also have like different like interactable levers and stuff that you can pull every so often on level, because I don't want to like I love Vampire Survivor a lot because like it's just like one of those games where okay, you just run around, you turn your brain off, you don't play. But I actually want to I want to make this game a little bit more active. You're gonna have like passive abilities and stuff to activate without you doing anything, but I also want to have it where people can actually do actual abilities. Like if anybody's played like Heroes of Hammerwatch 2, something like that. If I'm thinking that's the right name. But I'm thinking like also make it where you can like shove enemies onto like the floors and stuff. So I actually want to do something like that. For example, I want to see first how big of a sprite this is. Okay. Really would have been nice if these were all like set like size, or like a predefined set of like multiples of 32 or something like that. Let's go here, and yeah, so we're gonna do 32 by 32, and I'm gonna actually just do this, and I'm gonna also do this up here, 32 by 32. Oh yeah, okay, you know what, that's okay. So this one might not actually be like 32 long, but we can actually set this at 16, and that's okay because I can actually just say bottom center, and then you know, these will be like your normal 32 by 32 with a center pivot. So I want to make the idea of like, okay, you can actually like throw enemies down a pit and stuff like that. Also make it where like, okay, maybe an enemy can throw you down a pit, you know. I don't want to just have it where like, okay, it's just a bullet hell. I want to make it where people can actually like have like strategies and stuff. So I'm going to say catacombs hole, floor hole. We'll say that. I'm going to just name these real quick. I would make an auto tile set, but I've been like burned by the auto tile set so much. I'm not talking about like rule tiles, I'm talking about like Unity's like auto tile feature. I've just had yeah, that's actually why I haven't like streamed like the Oracle season. I had to like fix my auto tiles because like a Unity version changed the way they're serialized, and yeah, it's fun times. The GUID actually changed for the actual like tile script. So like on Unity side things, so if you update your project and your auto tiles, oh, it just broke all the tiles. Like Oracle seasons, I've been like having to fix some of my tiles. Thankfully, I'm almost done. I just have like a couple of roof tiles left. It was just horrible. But yeah, so let's actually go in here. What I'm gonna do, I actually think this is actually a good Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. Okay, I can actually get rid of this one. I was actually just testing out something. Get rid of that. Go here. So I'm going to say that we're going to create a rule tile for this one specifically. Where are the tiles? Wait, where did I put the tiles on there? Coffin zone. Oh, okay, we already have one for coffin zone. Let's do this. Yep. So grab this. We're gonna do a rule tile. Actually, I'm gonna use one of my neighbor tiles. One of the reasons why I actually started creating like my own custom like rule tiles and stuff is so if a GUID breaks, like, or if Unity changes a GUID or anything, I wouldn't have to worry about it. Catacombs hole. Now I can actually just go here and I'm going to go and make sure that this is actually done. Also, Saji or Sazday is the guy that actually set up the art and made them. He has a lot of like nice little art that for people. I decided instead of like making my own art, I wanted to just like use like pre-made just for testing purposes, because like I said, I want to actually make sure the game would be fun before I dedicate my own time doing pixel art. Because if the game's not fun, then it would kind of suck. Like it would suck if I wasted time on that. All right, so let's actually start making our little tiles. So let's actually start making it where I can just go and got a golden floor. Okay, yep. And that should be 4. Yep. Oh, I need to log that real quick. And grab this. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to make sure that this is actually locked. So we're going to actually set it up where I believe this is the, yep, this is the Oh, actually, I might not want that one. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Here we go. So I'm gonna just set these rule tiles real quick. It should only take like 2 seconds. Make sure I'm not like missing any. So yes, that is the oh, sorry, that is, I need this. And this one's gonna be this. So there's that. I actually need these the middle pieces here to be at the very like top for like testing things out. That way like it can check the up and below first. And then we're gonna just say that's that, there's that. Okay, let's see if this works. Alright, so I'm gonna actually come on, Unity. Restricted. Yeah, I love how that's actually like just Unity's default actual like a default like editor bug. Alright, let's make sure this works. That I got this little setup. So basically like wrong one. Okay, it mostly worked. What? All right. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. Let's see if I actually enter play mode, will actually show the right one. No. Okay. Oh, you know what? Instead of having that, what I'll do is, oh yeah. I think I'm actually going to change this up a little bit because these are not like normal like size tiles, which actually is slightly annoying. If I were to do 32 by 32, okay, we're gonna do pixel art, guys. I stand corrected. It's pixel art time. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with like not normal sizes of like sprites and stuff. Whoops. How then? You know what? I'm not even going to question it. Yeah, so go here, gonna show this up real quick. I'm not gonna be doing like a lot of pixel art, but basically I'm gonna just make this where it's a more normal size, because if I could do it the way it currently is, but it would be kind of annoying and it would literally be faster and less of a issue in the future if I just change it. So let's go ahead. Oh, hi Daisy. My dog was at the door, and so was my cat. Anyways, okay, so basically, I'm gonna actually like take this real quick. I'm gonna take this down here. We're actually gonna grab this. So I'm going to check the grid sizes. Okay, so let's actually make this 32 by 32. I'm gonna just line this up. Oh, never mind. I already got it lined up. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna put this corner over here. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. It is like super awkward sizing. So I think what we want is actually we'll just like bring this down here. And actually we'll just get rid of this part. And I can just grab this, or no, I'm gonna just like take part of this. Now I'm gonna just drag this down here. I'll have to like touch it up in a second because some of the outline doesn't like match. But this way, like I'm dealing with like actual 32 multiples by 32 by 32. If you have your art the same like multiples, it really makes Unity play nicer with you. And I'm gonna actually just grab this. I'm gonna just set that. All right, there. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually take this up here. And we're gonna actually just, all right, maybe not take it up there. All right, well, we will deal with that. Like, we'll actually just keep it right here for a second. I'm gonna try to make sure that it's actually like in a spot. Okay, so now if you notice, we gotta also set up the width as well, because the width is not. If I were to just move the brick over like pattern wise, how does that look? Good enough. We're just prototyping. Yeah, that's good enough. So now I can actually jump back to Unity, apply changes. And what I'll do is I'll actually just grab this. I'll grab this real quick. And this way I don't have to like redo rule tiles or anything like that. I can actually just grab this, make sure I got the right size, 32, 32. Yep. Okay, cool. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Put that one there, I believe. And there we go. And now we have a lot, it'll be a lot easier to work with like tile maps, and also a lot easier to work with like the pivot points for like certain things. All right, there we go. See, it looks so much better already, I say. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am actually going to get rid of some of these, because now we actually can set this up. Make sure. Oh, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2. Oh, it's just missing the 5. I was like, huh. The name was off and I was so confused. It's just missing the 5 at the end of the name. All right, so now let's actually make these proper. I do have a reason for them not like being flipped or mirrored. Just a heads up. Okay, so let's actually set this up. So this is our, I'm gonna actually like bring this over so I can have a reference. Okay, so this should be our bottom left. This should be our bottom right. And then we need this to actually be the actual okay, bottom left, do that. I guess we'll just duplicate, grab these. And make sure okay, the icons are not, or like the sprite preview is not actually like a matching with oh yeah, before I forget, I'm gonna actually go and I'm gonna say ground, and I'm going to oh right, I downgraded from 6.6 to 6.5. I was like, man, why are my tile maps automatically changing? So fun fact, in 6.5 you can actually sync a tile palette to a tile layer, so your Unity will actually automatically just switch to the correct like layer to paint on with less issues. All right, so let's actually see if this works. Yeah, and what I'm also gonna do is currently we have like a little like base down here that's kind of like they're not like a part of the same like tile size and everything. Let's actually fix that. So if I actually go to base, yeah, let's actually see where is that at. All right. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll just yeah, we'll go ahead and change this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a new palette. And the reason why is because this way I can have like a 16 by 16 and 32 by 32. 16 by 16 is like the decor. So I'm gonna say I'll say catacombs 16x, yeah, 16 by 16 palette. And then I can actually just drop the red vase on there. And what I'll do is over here, I'll take this red vase and you'll notice like I can actually make this a little bit easier to deal with. So I can actually save this. Yay, okay, wow. Yeah, I forgot one of these is actually not, is actually 32 by 32. We're almost there. Okay, yeah, we're going to be spending some time in some A-Sprite, I guess. All right, make sure everything's 32 by 32, multiples at least. Should be like one that is actually not. Oh, yeah, it's this right over here. Okay, it is actually thing, but oh, so it's none of these. It's the actual yeah. I actually need to move this to the catacomb. Yeah, I need to move this into this palette as well. Just move this one right here. Yeah, there we go. Yes. This way, like it'll be less of a headache in the future for like dealing with like tiles. And it'll just be generally faster to work with stuff. All right, and there we go. Now everything actually looks like what I would expect. And this also makes it easier for me to actually like paint stuff. So now if I actually go to like this, oh look, it's actually acting like the proper like size and stuff. But let's make sure I'm on like the actual correct layer. Do. Oh, okay. It's because there needs to be. Something ain't adding up right here for that roll tile. So that is this roll tile, right? Alright, so. Okay. Okay, so I don't know how easy it is to see on stream, but the icons inside of the rule tile is not matching up with the icons that are actually set inside of the there we go. Much better. And they still are not auto tiling. Well, that's just nice. All right, Unity. All right, we're gonna. That's a fun time. So Unity is actually only painting the default sprite, even though there's definitely should be. Oh, I know why. Because. Okay, it's because of the whoops. Need to change that. There we go. That looks a little bit better, I hope. Let's try this now. All right, so let's actually try to see if this works. So if I do this, yay! Not yay. Okay, well, that's actually all I really kind of need. Because now I can just actually like go here. Okay, so we need just a black tile, just a little black tile. I think I actually have one already. And basically it could be like the actual like default. Yep, there we go. And then we need the actual like top of the walls. And I just got that. And then add another one, and there we go. And now we got like the actual like stuff going. So what we're gonna do is this, and that should actually make it where okay, so I feel like these are not matching up what is suspecting. Oh yeah, because I need to do this. Let's set that. Man, sooner or later I'll recover from my month-long dream. I feel like ever since I got it, like I've been just like out of it. Yeah, so there we go. Now it's starting to look good. Okay, cool. So basically there's that. And we're also gonna need like a actual like a, oh, we are gonna need a middle piece, aren't we? Well, that's okay, we can do that simple. So instead of having to like draw a new middle piece, I can actually just do this. Yeah, you can actually just like stack sprites on top of each other. 32 by 32. I love how this became like a hatred of like a non multiplier like sized sprites. So there we go. So I wonder if I should actually just go into a sprite and also make like a, yeah, instead of like a, you know, that might actually be faster and less of a headache. We can actually just grab this, and then we're gonna say grab this. We're gonna actually just like grab this, and we're gonna make sure, yeah, we're gonna just make a nice little center tile. So yeah, I'll just like grab some of this. Like I said, it's gonna look maybe a little off, but we'll just put like a little line right here, and like a little like a line right here as well. Do a little brick pattern. There we go. There we go. We don't need a center one because we already got a center one up at top. Yeah. You know, like I said, I just was using like a actual like test art package. So I'm not the one that made these not this like different multiplier sizes. Because honestly, I would like, if I was gonna do this, I would make all the multipliers like just straight up be the same like size, because as you see, it can cause headaches if it's not. I mean, it's not a headache to say, it's more of like I would have already been done and we wouldn't even have to be like staring at this. And there we go. Yeah. So let's say I'm gonna put this up here, and then also have this down here. There we go. Yay. I think, okay, so set this up, go in here. Now we need to actually make it where I have to like drag this up a little bit. So by the looks of it, what we're seeing here is like the corner here. So like the actual like L shape. So I need to actually put these above here. Put this up there, and I also need to have like a, you know what I'll do is I'll just have like the black at the very top, and basically yeah, there we go. And now all we need is like the last little part up here. Why is this part? Oh yeah, when I originally made this, since this was just a 16 by 16 originally, that was off. Cool. And the last part is we'll just need to, these also need to be up. Basically, you want your more like your more complex roles at the top, and then the other roles down below. And now, do that. Yay! Okay, cool. And there we go, little pixel art. Okay. And now if I do this, I should be able to just like draw. And yeah, I mean, there'll be edge cases for like non-squares, but that's okay. I can hammer those out later. I'll probably have to actually like make a sprite for it. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set that. I'm gonna actually like delete all that because I just want to make sure like it actually would work. Nope, I want this one. Yeah. What we're gonna do now is ground obstacles. We're gonna go to ground obstacles layer. Ground obstacles layer literally has like my own like physics setup on it. So if I actually go here, you'll notice that, oh hey look, we actually have our actual like ground setup. Does that not work like or look okay inside of the URL tile? Oh, did it not save? It didn't. Oh, it literally moved part of my changes. Oh wow, Yinti, that's not good. I swear to God, Yinti, if there's like a bug inside the like asset importer for stuff like that, which as a database, there is. There bloody is. Postgres is not set as a source of determinism. What? Okay. So if I actually go and hit play mode, I'm assuming all right, good enough for now. All right, I'm actually gonna go to level root real quick. I'm gonna turn off this like the actual debug draw because we don't actually need that. There we go. So I haven't made it like enemy. I haven't set up like enemy collision testing for pathfinding yet. I'll do that in a little bit, but yeah. So now since we actually got that, sorry, that was stupidly annoying, but whatever. We're gonna do this. So my thought was this. So like imagine like you have like a little like hallways and passageways. I'm gonna just use this whole thing just for now. I'm gonna actually use it to like set the boundary of the level that I want. I'll do like more down the line. But for now, I just want to like mock out the level that I'm planning on setting up. This way I can know like, okay, this is the limits of like what I want for a test area. That way I don't accidentally scale it too big. If you ever done anything game dev, there's always like feature creep. Let's not do that. All right. Let's not do that. So the idea is like there'll be a couple different like rooms in the first level. Each like certain rooms will have like different items and stuff that you can grab, whether it's like bonus experience points or unlocks or something like that. Like for example, maybe like we'll have like a actual like area that has like a spikes or saws. Like if anybody's like played like Heroes of Hammerwatch, Heroes of Hammerwatch, Heroes of Hammerwatch, you might know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm actually gonna duplicate the holes thing, and I'm gonna say wall. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to set it where, make sure I actually grab duplicate. I'm going to actually set it where I'm going to start using like the walls up here. So we'll do this. I'm going to just actually like go and grab these real quick and just set them up. There's that. There's that one. And then there's that one. And we'll also need see, there's a yep. Grab that. Because that's the only ones I've actually set for now. Oh yeah. That's okay. So what I was gonna say is let's actually just start setting some of these up. And I'm going to actually, well, I'm going to actually test out like the mirror thing. Before the mirror, like there's some fun issues with the mirror, with the tile map, and I just did not want to deal with them. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm also going to make sure like the other stuff is good. All right, cool. So let's go here and just grab the catacombs, catacomb tiles, yep. Grab the newly created one, drop it in there, and we're gonna see how this goes. Yay, okay. So let's actually start working on like some room ideas. And I was thinking like, okay, so there'd be like some rooms where you have like a little like a small entrance like this. And basically the idea is, okay, I know I need to add like a couple more like tiles, but for now I'm gonna just roll with it like for a moment. I just want to actually map this out. So like basically you have like one room be like this where you enter, and then there's like you could either have like coffins or stuff you could break for items. So for like example, I could actually go and like grab this and then have like a little like actual like coffin, let's say coffin here, coffin here. Actually, I might want to make this a little bit of a bigger room now since I think about it. Actually, wait. Oh, didn't mean to set that. Okay. Let's actually make this a bigger room. I'm gonna actually do this. Oh yeah, I just remembered why I really was happy about Unity 6.6. The freaking tile map editor was so much better. 6.6 actually had a lot of like updates to tile map editor, and it just was a lot easier, like workflow, like game flow and stuff like that. Like I said I'll actually fix the tile maps or like the tiles in a couple minutes. I just want to actually get stuff tested out and actually get things going. Actually, what I do need to do real quick is I need to at least add one more tile. Like I need to at least add this tile real quick. And we're gonna go here and I'm gonna just go ahead and do that because that I can do real quick. This way it doesn't look too weird because, all right, yeah, I'll fix most of that. Most of it is the keyword. Oh yeah. Make sure that whatever. So my thought was like, all right, so we'll have a couple of coffins that you can break open. Maybe have like different like stuff with like actual like ground obstacles, like maybe like a couple of vases that drop money or something like that, and maybe make it where like the player can actually like go into it. So like for example, it looks so weird because again, oh, I need to remove that. This is like I had this actually just here whenever I was like testing out like random stuff. I'm actually gonna make like the player actually like just spawn in front of this room. Again, all the art, all the level and stuff is just like prototyping. I just want to make sure like I can actually do the project before I actually do polishing. It kind of sucked to like try to polish parts of it and also do like custom animations and stuff and then realize you wasted your entire time. So logic first, make sure it's actually something that could be fun to play and then work from there. So yeah, okay, so, but for now, a little test room. What I'm thinking about doing is at the current moment, I have the like the little spawn wave controller. What I might do is I might have it where like there's certain like spawn areas in certain rooms. So like for example, I'm gonna actually turn off the original spawn. I'm gonna say by 5. Let's just say we're gonna actually make a couple of these things a little bit less to spawn. Let's say about like 8. So if we actually like go here, now if I do that, like, oh, did they all spawn? Like, where did they all spawn? Spawn position. Oh, I just realized. Yeah, we'll just do this real quick. 5, and then we'll say -9. There we go. So like, I did not actually spawn in the correct spot. Yeah, that's fun. Oh, I bet I know what it is. I bet when I did this, spawn handle, transform handle. Yep. Okay, my bad. We need to do spawn wave sets dot spawn position. My bad. Forgot to add that. And we'll actually do, yeah, we actually will need to do like a, yeah, we'll do minus there. We'll need to do that. And then we also need to, actually wait, make sure I get my parentheses right. There we go. Do. Plus. All right, so that's oh yeah, okay, so with next float 2, I could have just put like a couple like just like a vector 2, but since I'm actually now doing like some math with this, it won't exactly let me do like the quick thing. So fun fact about floats, you could do like a swizzling. So for example, if we actually go here, yeah. Oh, you know what? I was gonna say swizzling, but I just remembered this is next float 3 specifically. So position value. So I can actually just do this. Let's say bar equals, and I can actually just say plus offset. Yeah, we can actually just do this here. And this spawn position, I believe, is a yeah, float 2, float 3 for the spawn offset. So I can just say dot xy. So this is what I mean by swizzling. I could just say xy and not use, like, I could just say screw the z value. We don't care about z value. And I could just say, we'll just say at the very end here, oh, actually, we're gonna need like a minus position. And what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna say spawn position there. That, yeah, we'll do this. There's a reason why I gotta do this positive position. So this actually will create like a range area, like area for spawning stuff. So I can say minus position, I can say positive position, and you'll notice that, hey, it's the like, you can't do like a float 3 and everything. So what we could do is I could just say notice that there's like a XY and then like just nothing else after that. Actually, instead of saying a float 3, I should say a 0. Or yeah, we'll just say I should just be able to say 0 here, like a swizzle. Okay, I don't need though that last set of parentheses, or like the inner set of parentheses, but it just makes it a little bit more readable. So yeah, I could just do this. Now that should make them actually. Oh, it won't let me just swizzle that. Damn. I was hoping it would. That would have been too easy now, wouldn't it? Alright, well, okay. This will just keep, yeah, okay. We'll just have to do it this way. That's okay. New float 3. I'll just say that, and basically, This will actually give us the like first two values, and then 0. Yeah, we'll just have to do this. Oh, no. Not cut, paste. Then we'll do this. And instead of saying that, we'll give it a plus. And then we can, yeah, now we can not worry about that. Yay. Okay. Yay for swizzling. All right, so now that should work. Yay, okay, yeah. Man. What I could do too is I could also have it where like I could just have an option where it says like use like transform position, which that's probably what I'll end up doing. But here's my thought. Make it where like there's certain like activatable things like whether it's a pressure plate or something, and it just spawns enemies. So basically there's a pressure plate in here. Second you step on it, it spawns enemies like that. So it'll like spawn like the little bats and everything like that, or enemies, something along those lines. You know, get the idea. So after that, we can, yeah, let's actually do this. So I'm gonna just, I want to make sure like I have like I think I actually have like art for a pressure plate already. And let's actually check this out real quick, guys. We are gonna do like pressure plate. Okay. No. You know what? Mr. Great, you're now our pressure plate, because I don't really have him anywhere. Alright, we're gonna just use this guy as like, we're gonna pretend this is our little pressure plate, everyone. So, yeah. Since he's not an actual like prefab object, I'll just like drag him out here. Yeah, meet Mr. Pressure Plate, everyone. He's our friendly little pressure plate. I'm gonna just call him, you know what, no, he's not a pressure plate, he's our pressure grate. Alright, so we got our pressure grate. What I'm gonna say is like, let's do, activatable, I'm pretty sure I already have a, yeah, I have a Unity event activatable. So I actually made like a custom set of like activatables and stuff like that, and basically the activatable wrapper allows me to actually like create different like activation systems and a few other things. So let's actually test this out. This is actually how I have like inside of if I actually go inside of like the Oracle Seasons project, that's how I'm doing like the blocks and stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to go and I'm going to say, so activatables can be activated by anything that's interactable. So I could just say interactable switch. I also have like an interactable like Unity event thing as well. And I can just like grab this down here. I can say interactable mode. Let's do trigger begin, so I can actually like choose if it's like a input or so forth. Or if it's like a raycast item use, stuff like that. I'm going to just say one-time use as well. And I'm going to just say whenever this activates, so I'm going to actually have like a little like a test pressure plate under, or spawn wave. I'm going to just say game object, and I'm going to just say set active equals true, and I'll have the game object not active by default. And then we can just say a box, SF rectangle shape. I'll just say static. Yeah, we'll do that as well, and make sure that it's triggered and it triggers events. Also, that make sure that it's actually set to a layer that the player can actually interact with. So this should be good. Alright, so if I and there you go. So bats actually spawn. Let me actually make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. I'm gonna actually move the tile map over. That way I can make the screen easier. So basically, whenever I step on the pressure plate, it actually starts spawning bats after 1.5 seconds. Cool. So we could have like a system like that where there's like pressure plates that activate stuff. If we really want, I could also make like closing walls as well. So basically, like you activate like a pressure plate, and like the walls start to close in on the player. So we can do stuff like that. That's one thing that we can actually do. There's actually a lot of stuff we can do already with all the stuff that I made. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to say I'm going to call it spawn plate. I'm going to actually probably be changing this. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be using. Okay, I really am not liking this UND. Okay, just making sure like it didn't like mess with things there. All right, so we got physics culling set up. We got it where we could start actually creating some rooms, making like spawnable stuff. Let's make it. I got an idea. So what about making like a pressure plate that actually like creates like a bridge across like a dark chasm or something, and you have like a little like time limit and have the bridge like start to like break down. And whether it's you or the enemies, if you are on it, you like fall. If enemies on it, they die. If you are on it, you take just quite a bit of heavy damage and respawn on the start of the bridge. That's another thing we could do. Yeah, let's see. Let's actually go to, okay, Unity. That's so annoying. Oh my gosh. I was also going to see, let's make it where, I mean, I could also start setting up like particle effects for like candles and stuff and make it where like there's actual light. I'm going to grab a vase real quick. I want to make like a destructible vase. So let's go ahead, grab this. I just want to make it where like the base can be destroyed. Also, do note I have a general health system. There's like character health and then like combatant health. But for like just like destructible objects, you can just use the base class health. And you can also like assign like a def and like damage sound effects. So what I could do is I could actually have like a drop loot. Oh, I think that I had in the sandbox. Inside the like Oracle season project, I actually made like a drop loot on. We're gonna actually open that up. I don't want to rewrite that script. Basically, I had it where I could actually like drop item on like a enemy or like object def, enemy def, anything like that. So my thought is like drop gold or drop something like some kind of collectible for people. Also, I don't plan on making it where people have to gather, like actually pick up the experience. In multiple games, I've seen like that's Vampire Survivor, like you have to actually manually go and grab the experience. I don't want people to have to suffer for that. So I'm gonna make it where like if you kill an enemy, you just instantly get the actual like experience. All right, so I'm gonna just hold this over here for a second. We're gonna see. We're gonna have like two games up here for a second, because I did have it where like whenever I kill the enemy, just to show this off. It's still a work in progress, but it's definitely like all right. I forgot. I need to check the things out. Enemy should have like a or might have took it off the Stalfos. Character data. Okay. Is it loot? Is it drop? Drop item on dash. That's what it is. All right. We're gonna actually exit out there. I just wanted to see this script. You have a good day, Tech Dave. Take it easy. Thank you for joining. All right. So I'm actually going to just go into our actual like item system, and then inside the loot system, I'm gonna say loot drops, and I'm going to say. No, we'll just say drop item on def, or drop loot on def. drop loot on def. There we go. And what I'll do here is I'll just actually set it up where anything can be, like anything that has a health script can actually drop loot. Public. Let's do, actually no, sorry, private. Health. Put this in here. Loot. And what we'll do is I'll say health and we'll just say if health has not been like set in the inspector, which I'm not serializing field, so it shouldn't be, but there could be some. You can actually set them in debug mode, I guess I'd say. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and actually like serialize it. That way there's like, doesn't have to like calculate or run like this value. I'll just say key component, and we'll just say health. Then I can pretty much just say, it may seem weird doing a null check, like a null conditional assignment, and then like also doing null check, but if I forgot to set health inside the inspector, I'll automatically try to get it. But what happens if I also forget to add the component? Yeah, so there's actually two null checks, and I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry. And what I'll do is def handler. So I made it where anything that can take damage, whether it's a wall, a face, object, character, boss, whatever, has like a def handler, and that actually runs whenever that object is actually killed. So I can say on drop or on def. And there's a couple ways I could do this. I could just say, for now, I can just say loot prefab. And actually, we'll say equals null, return, and I could just say instantiate loot prefab. I'll just say position or transform position historian.identity. There we go. So now we can actually like just have a random item drop whenever something dies. I can also add like the loot test, or sorry, like a loot percentage, and make a loot table. Loot table. Dear God. So for the zombies, actually, we already have like a small area with like the bats and stuff. So let's actually do the bats. Nice bug unity there. It's not showing any icons. Oh, is that what the freaking asset database error that keep showing is? Beautiful, wonderful. All right, let's just say drop loot on def. Just drop this into here, and I'm actually going to just for now. This is not how I'm planning on doing it whenever I actually like finish the test build. But for now, like just testing purposes, this works. What we could do is, I don't think I have any like gold or anything. All right, let's do this. We're gonna say new. Let's say 128 by 128. Just grab that. I'm gonna just, I'm not kidding. For now, I'm just gonna do like a. You're gonna see like really crappy like gold coins. You know, just I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna like make them. Also, I do apologize if you guys hear my little puppies. Oops, no. What? There we go. I was like, what? Anyways, sprite. Let's actually go to a outline, and we're gonna say and just add like a little like black colored like oh, great. Well, because I actually had them selected or like selected it when, well, that's okay. I'll just do it this way. Come on. Oh, I just realized background color, that's why. I was so confused. I was like, what in the world? No, let's actually do like this kind of color. I'm gonna actually like set it where the value is actually like down low. Oh, screw it. What am I doing? This is just like a testing. I don't care if they look good or they look bad. I just want them to actually be something. Blue dart. Yeah, we'll just do this. Who cares if they look like crap for now? We're gonna go here and I'm gonna actually export or oh, come on. File, export as, now I'm gonna just loot drops. And for now, I guess I will just like put it in PNG since I don't really care about it. All right, so inside of our little loot drop thing, go in here. We're gonna actually trim. Yes, look how beautiful the ugly is. We're gonna just say coin drop. Always love like just like throwing in like the crappiest art just to be like, okay, does it work? Or like to just test stuff out and see if it works. Yeah, okay, Unity, that is those are kind of annoying. Like even if they don't affect the game, like just having like this stuff actually like just be done like over and over again, it's just kind of annoying. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just have this be a actual prefab. I'm gonna say actually I'll say on drop loot, and I'll just say this. Oh, sorry, this. There we go. Grab that. And I'll just say, yeah, we'll just do this. And let's do shove it in a rectangle just so it has some physics. And we're gonna say hitbox. Obstacles. And we're gonna say projectiles or player. There we go. Oh yeah, did I have that as a oh actually no, it's just on I have this on different. I can't remember which one. Oh no, the trigger begin starts from like the actual damaging projectile. That's okay. We should be good now. Actually make it as contact for a second. That way we can't like run into it. Okay, so we're gonna see, does this drop items? Oh, I set base to hitbox, right? Or not hitbox, but yeah, hitboxes. I need to go to the player prefab, and I need to set the projectiles to also be Yeah, we've also set them to go to. There we go. Now it should work. Yay! Alright, so yeah, we got like a little spawn system. So we can have enemies drop. Okay, so we got a simple system that allows us to like spawn enemies whenever stepping on pressure plates. We got like coins I can drop whenever you kill certain types of enemies. Yeah, okay, I think with this I can actually make something like it's gonna be a small demo, like or a small test, but again it's just a prototype. But I'm actually gonna stop here and start like doing polishing or like start doing like cleanup and stuff. Because on stream I was just wanting to like actually see, can I do this? If not, oh well. But I can't do it. So I'm gonna actually pause here and I'm gonna make me a small like post like between lunch and dinner snack. And I'm gonna actually make it full on like actual playable level real quick. And we'll see how well this goes. But yeah, let's see how well it goes. I'll just only have a couple enemies. Like I said, it's going to be basic and standard. I'll add a way where you can actually see like how much gold you pick up and stuff like that. But thank you all for watching. You guys have a wonderful day. I am going to head out. I'll post a video either today or tomorrow on what like the little prototype looks like after I do some polishing. Anyways, have a good day. Thank you all for joining. I'm kind of slightly tired today, so just or not tired, just annoyed by like all the little like ENT errors and stuff. But at least we had stuff working. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you all for joining. See you later, Tech Dave. Take it easy, everyone.